Alright. Well, it's interesting.
Enemy in the courtyard.
Oh, that's good. I don't know how that guy got away. He has some awesome sick moves there. Aw, oh, come on, I got an assist for that? That's bullcrap. What are we gonna do, man? I'm on this building looking for people to kill. Come here, people. I need people to kill. Oh, crap. Alright, well they came for me instead. That hurts. My soul's hurt inside, guys. Oh, jeez, dude. Teammate gave me a heart attack. Let's go. Let's go. I'll give you all the walls all day. Oh crap, behind me? Of course behind me. I'm sitting down. Dude, they really switched the spawns up in this game. This is like 1 second they're over here, the next second they're over here. I don't know who's spawning anymore. Where are people spawning? Okay, so let's see. Oh. Oh no, seriously? I didn't kill him? I threw a thermite grenade right at him. Thermal. Oh, dude, to the right of me, man. Aye. I'm really struggling on this map a little bit. Let's see. Gonna throw myself out a window. Sound good? Yeah, I forgot this is a dead end. Way to pick a dead end, Ty. No, not enemy UAV. I don't need that negativity in my life. That negativity in my life needs to leave. Oh. See you guys. Oh, no, I ran into two guys. I got double banged. Double banged. So double kill, double bang. How you guys like them apples? Ah, come on. The overedge got in the way. Nice, finally got a Kingslayer. Alright, I'm the Kingslayer, Ty. Don't mess with me. Oh, as I almost die. Don't worry about me. I'll heal up. I'll bring myself back. Oh. Oh no! Guys, why? Let's see if I can make it a good place. Nah, it's not about the plays, right? It's about the strats. Strat is take the high road. Oh. I got to fix this. Hold on. The back alley? So like, where this guy's at? This guy's shooting through the walls? I'm about to get found. Oh, that hurt. That hurt. See. The speed up. Oh, got him. That guy only got an assist. I don't know how. I was gonna say, you guys gotta collect that or what, man? Do I have to go get it myself or what? Oh, where are they at, guys? Where's they at? Let me know where this at. Pork chops. Oh no, pork chops got me. Wow. Life is sad. Come on, hop up there. Hop up there. I can't hop. Guys, I must be white. I've got no hop. Oh, there's... Oh, so they spawn next to... Yeah, thanks for yelling the grenade out. Like, that just gave my position away. Thank you. Yeah, I don't want to stay there for too long. I don't know where all the good places are on this map yet. Let's see. The back alley? The back there? What's going on? Sweet graciousness, please bring me understanding. Confirm that I am no longer neat. Oh, fudge! The guy saw me? No! Watch this. How did he even see me? Like, I was barely even sticking out. Like, he must have... It must have... Oh! What? Spawn killed. Oh, that hurts. It hurts. My life is... My life is... moot. Dude, you can't go anywhere in this game without getting killed. Let's see, where we go. I'll let this guy go first. They're at the hotel. I actually haven't learned where all the stuff is on this map. Thanks, dude. No, that's fire. Fire looks like people running, apparently. I'm confused as to what situation I've got myself into. Oh, jeez, Ty. That was smart. That was not smart. Why did I just threw the grenade and I get my position away. Let's see, they're over there right now. I guess that's one downside of using thermal grenades is that it gives you a position away sometimes. Yeah, see, these guys just popped up. I don't think this is my own teammate, is it? Look, it's Milk Baby Jesus. Hallelujah! Naruto. Oof. Naruto. That's good. You did better than me, then. I think I have like 11. Yeah, there you go. I was gonna say 10 to 5 kills. I'm not used to the map yet, but I'm also not used to streaming the map. So. And if I was paying attention to my chat, I would say hi to people. But no face cam. Yeah, no face cam, dude. I'm face camming today. I feel sick. Feel sick. But I will be right back. I'm going to run and go do some errands real quick. I figured I'd just stream a match. Did I pick this dude? I don't remember what dude I picked. Dude, the new battle season pack is pretty cool. Yeah, some new operators, dude. Amara. I saw Amara's Coalition and Rodon is Allegiance. But hey, Olsen, I'll be back, man. If you're still sitting there listening. Oh. See you in a bit, my dude.